at the end of the day, just before we get into this last workshop, I did mention something which was about participation. And the fact that you guys are still here and you're sat down and I can see your faces looking at me, I just want to give you a nice big round of applause. Thanks for sticking around for this last workshop. Makes me very happy to see you curious people here. And hopefully we had a few aha moments. And we're going to put the last piece in the puzzle, really. We've looked at how we can buy and how we can sell Bitcoin using Bull. We've looked at a hot wallet, which is the Bull Bitcoin wallet also. We've also looked at Coinos and talked about how we can onboard people quickly and easily, looking at merchants and how we can invoice. And then we get to what is the ultimate way that you can store your Bitcoin is with hardware. We already looked at the queue earlier. There are lots of different devices available. Some of them can be more cumbersome than others. Some of them can be daunting. However, their importance can't be underestimated. So we have Drew here. Give us a wave here, Drew. Welcome, Drew, to the stage from Blockstream, who's going to talk us through, with Ben, of course, how to use their solution to self-custody. And their solution is a device called, you don't have a microphone, called the Jade. So we're just going to dive into the basics of what a Jade is. I also believe there are some scattered around the room here as well. But before we jump into that, I just want to thank CoinCards as well. We're wrapping up on this stage after this workshop. So thanks very much, CoinCards, for being our sponsor. Let's jump into this next workshop. So before we start talking about the Jade, the device there, Drew, I'll do the same thing we did with Bull and the same thing we did with Coinos. Blockstream, the who, the what, the when, the where, and the why. And then you can move on to the Jade and explain what it is. So here's your time to just tell us, what is this all about?
Hello. So when people ask about what is Blockstream, it's kind of a sort of very loaded question. Blockstream was created in 2013. The CEO of Blockstream, his name is Adam Back. Trivia question from earlier was, who's the one person cited in the Bitcoin white paper? Adam Back. He's smarter than me times like 1.5 million. What is Blockstream? Blockstream kind of does a lot within the Bitcoin space. So today we'll be talking about the Jade hardware wallet. So we have a hardware wallet. We have a software wallet just called the Blockstream app. We work on the Lightning Network, which you guys were talking about a little bit earlier. We also built out the infrastructure for the Liquid Network, which was discussed a lot today. What else do we do? It kind of goes on. At one point, well, we still run a satellite that goes around the planet. So if you want the Bitcoin blockchain to be beamed down to you, we got that. I like Blockstream, but I liked Blockstream before I joined, I promise. I'm not just a shill. Where are we? We're globally distributed. There's about 100 employees. We're on every continent minus Antarctica. Give us a couple more years, we might be there too. And why? I don't know. We do a lot of free open source stuff, and personally, I really like that.
All right, that's awesome. Thanks very much for the lowdown. Yeah, Blockstream is definitely like a key name in everything that's Bitcoin innovation and engineering. So we're very happy to have you up here on the stage. Let me just move through. I want to drill down on some of from the general to more of the specifics. So Blockstream does innovate a lot of solutions, I think. They're like very good at understanding what Bitcoin is as a network and as an asset, and then prescribing and engineering solutions to some of the problems. And one of those is the Jade, right, which we're going to get to, and we're going to have a look at how this works. But Jade essentially represents a way of cold storing your Bitcoin. So we can maybe just ask the first point here is, what is the importance of cold storage?
Cold storage keeps your Bitcoin private keys, the very important words that send transactions, offline.
There we go. Very succinct and very on point. Cold storage is essentially that. We talked about in workshop number 1 the history of money and how the money is something we can't hold anymore. And cold storage enables us. It's the very solid act of holding your Bitcoin. And the hardware device is essentially that. You know, it's a physical object that is used to secure your Bitcoin. So when you're kind of using these devices, or people out there who've maybe done this in the past, you might have experienced this, there are certain obstacles when it comes to self-custody. It's not the easiest path if we compare it to other things like Google Pay or your bank account, or there are some technical hurdles that beginners have to overcome. Are there any that come to mind, some obstacles that you maybe associate with cold storage?
Personally, so I help run the support channel at Blockstream. The amount of people that come in and say, hey, this is really scary, what do I do? Well, then we just say, hey, there's this really cool guy on YouTube. His name's BTC Sessions, and he'll make it not so scary for you. Honestly, the hardest thing to cold storage is just the fear that mainstream news has instilled into people of this is everything, and you'll lose it all in the trash.
Yeah. Recently I saw this game. What's his name? James Howells? What's the name of the James guy who lost all of his Bitcoin in the dump? You remember that story? Like, it's been going on for years and years and years and years. Long story short, there was a guy before devices like this existed who was holding his Bitcoin on a hard drive. And during a clean out of his house, I think there was a breakup involved, some drama anyway, he threw out his hard drive and he essentially lost the private keys to his Bitcoin. And this has been a story that's been told over and over and over again of the famous guy who is searching through a landfill site to find this hard drive because there's hundreds of millions of dollars of Bitcoin on this drive. I just want to find out, raise your hand if you've already heard of that story. Yeah. There's something going on in that story. Like, I do look for conspiracy sometimes, or I at least look for news that's being cycled. And I think this is part of a narrative that, 10 years ago, that was the case. It was super hard to be able to secure your Bitcoin. But the fact that the story is repeated in the news over and over and over again is kind of almost proving to you or telling you that you're not able to own your Bitcoin. And I don't believe that. I think everybody in this room is able and willing and capable of holding their private keys. And it's not as scary as a lot of people think. As Drew was saying, it's an educational point as well. You need to feel that you have support and guidance. You need to feel that you have expertise and the devices. But guess what? In 2025, they're all here. There's 3 people on stage, and we're going to be around tomorrow as well. There's a Blockstream booth, there's a Bull Bitcoin booth, and Ben's going to be walking around too. So we're going to walk through on stage a little bit how you can do this type of process. And if at any point anything's not clear, come and see us on a one-on-one. We can help you get set up, because it is your right to own your own Bitcoin. And it's exactly what we strive for. And this is what one of the huge properties of Bitcoin is holding it. So we're going to look at some cold storage.
Can I just ask really quick, how many people in the room have kids? Do you know how hard it is to keep a kid alive? If you can keep a kid, you can keep a wallet. So like, if you're responsible enough to have a child and actually parent that child and keep them safe, I'm certain that you'll be able to protect a piece of hardware and a backup of 12 words. I believe in you.
All right, thanks. So Ben's building up some confidence here. We all believe in you up on stage, but maybe just some prerequisites. I love this. I really borrowed this from Ben. Like, before we jump into a demo, are there any prerequisites that either yourself, Drew, or yourself, Ben, kind of have in mind before doing this type of setup?
Well, typically, you would be doing this in your own home or a secure location, but we're all friends here, and so this demonstration that we're going to do is for demonstration purposes only. We will not be actually storing real funds on this. We will be deleting the devices after we are done with the example. Thank you.
All right. And also, there were some devices handed out, right? Can you mention about those?
Yeah, so there are 7 Jades distributed around a couple tables. There's a box that looks like this.
All right. If you have that box on your table, can you just wave it in the air? All right.
Like you just don't care.
If there's not one of those boxes on your table, I kind of suggest move to the table so you can really see the workshop. You can maybe offer assistance, and you can learn together. This is why we're here. This is why we have the devices, is so you can see what it looks like, or you can help the person out. So gather around the devices. That's another good prerequisite. Anything else?
We're also going to be using an application on a mobile phone. And the application is the Blockstream app. So you would just go, if you're on iPhone or Android, you would just go to your app store and you would just search what? Blockstream? Blockstream wallet? Blockstream app?
Blockstream.
Okay, and it looks like this. The logo is the funky circle there.
All right, so a couple of prerequisites. Thank you for moving and relocating. I appreciate that. I think we're going to get a lot more out of the workshop because you're together. Maybe choose one person or two people who are going to download the app. You can race each other to find out who can get it on their phones. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump into the demo. So I'll let you guys kind of go back and forth. Ben's got the chops of having done this a lot of times, and Drew, you know the platform. So what's maybe the first thing we need to do?
So I do want to, before we kind of start using the device, the one that I've got up here is going to be slightly different from yours, just kind of in looks, but functionally everything will be the same. I'm just going to outline the difference here. So this is the Jade Plus, so it's just the newer iteration. The main difference is going to be at the top of the device. I have 2 buttons to navigate back and forward between the menus, whereas you will have it's like a wheel that allows you to move forward and backwards. So that's the main difference. There's still going to be a singular button on the front to select things. There's still going to be, and I am correct in this, a power button on the bottom. Okay, the bottom button is the power button. So the wheel will be on the top, the power will be on the bottom, and there'll be one main big button on the front that is to select things. How am I doing so far?
A+.
Okay, great. Okay, so I believe, like, out of the box, these things should already have some power, correct?
Yes, so that's why we're kind of low on Jades right now. They're out of power, but typically they have some power.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to turn on the Jade with the bottom button. You just hold it for a sec, and you should see it kind of begin to boot up, like so. And so let me know if somebody's doesn't turn on. If it does turn on, actually, give me a thumbs up. Okay, neat.
Yeah, let me have a look. We've got one turned on here with a little bit of low battery. The guys around here have got turned on, no problem. I think we're looking good. I'll be the guy in the audience, by the way.
Nice.
I'll be checking on the people. If you have any questions, raise hands or just shout Pablo. But it looks good.
Perfect. So when you first get into your Jade, one of the first things you're going to see is an option to set up the Jade. And I guess I'll just dive right into that because that's the first logical step that we want to do. And in order to select that, it's the first option. It's highlighted just to show if I navigate. For me, it's the buttons. For you, it's the wheel. But you can go side to side and see the other menu items there. But I'm back on Setup Jade. To select it, I'm just going to hit the big button on the front, Setup Jade. And it does say, for setup instructions, visit blockstream.com/Jade. I'm just going to hit continue here. So we have a couple options, begin setup or advanced setup. We're going to do the basic setup today. So I'm just going to choose begin setup. Is everybody okay so far? Yeah? Okay. Unless somebody's crying, I'll assume you're good. All right, so begin setup. I press the front button. I'm going to create a brand new wallet. So all together, we're going to choose create wallet. It says, hey, these words that you're about to see are your wallet. Keep them protected and offline. And so you're going to see a series of English words. This is known as your seed phrase. Another way to think of it is the keys to your wallet. And because the key is information, you can create a copy of said key just simply by writing down the words. Now, we may not have copies of paper in front of us or anything, but these are demo wallets. We're just testing stuff. So we may do some horrible practices here.
So there are pieces of paper in each box, and there is a pencil. Don't take those pencils, please.
Okay. All right, perfect. So we are then, I'm going to do some horrible practices because just for brevity's sake, but it says these are your words to your wallet, keep them protected and offline. These are literally the keys to your money. Because they are information, they are replicable as simply as writing them down. But think of it like a key to your house. You don't want these to fall into anybody else's hands if this were your real wallet that you were going to use, which means if anybody were able to take a picture of them or get them in any way, they now have a copy of that key and they can unlock what that key unlocks, which is your money. So you do not want anybody to have your words. So I'm going to click ahead, continue, and it's going to show me my first 4 words, okay? And so you're going to write down these first 4 words. I am going to do something that you never, ever do. Do as I say, not as I do. But just so I can do this simply on stage, I'm taking a quick picture. Don't do this. But there we go. First 4. Okay. So as you get your first 4 words written down, again, you can see the little arrow to the right is selected, and you're just going to press the front button to move on to the next ones. If you do need to go back, remember you've got the wheel up top and you can move to the back arrow and go to the first 4. So you can navigate back and forth. Anyways, I'm going to go through, I'm going to get all of my words right now. So I believe we get a total of 12 words. So you're going to write down all 12 words. Does anybody still need time to write these down? I know it takes a second. We good? Okay. If anybody is still left over, is still writing, put up your hand. You're not ready? Okay. I'll get Pablo to assist over there if that's okay.
You dispatching too?
Okay.
We're good.
So I'm just going to quickly explain what's happening. So we were given 12 English words. The device wants to confirm that we've written those words down correctly. So it's going to say, what is word number 1? And with our wheel, or our buttons, we have this highlighted word. We're going to scroll to the side until we see the correct word for word number 1 of our seed phrase. And I'm looking at mine right now. And my first word was hospital. So I'm going to scroll until I see hospital. And when I see it, I'm going to press the front button. And then it's going to ask me, what was word number 4? It's going to randomly select a few of your words for you to confirm. So now I'm checking word number 4. Mine was process, so I'm going to scroll through. Oops, incorrect. It tells me go back and check again. Okay. I failed. I failed the test. That's okay. All right, so word number 2 was purity. Word number 5, I had weasel, so I gotta scroll through and look for that. Word number 8, I had outside. Okay. Word number 11. So I just keep going through. It's going to ask me about my various words, and I just look for the correct ones. So it asked me for 4 different words. Once I've correctly identified them, then I'm on to the next step. Okay. How is everybody doing? How many people have made it to this, what I'm looking at right now, where it's asking you how you want to connect? Okay. How many people are not yet there? How many people are stuck at a prior step? Okay. All right. If anybody needs help, we do have our gentleman in the audience helping out here. So I'm going to be utilizing the Jade today with my mobile phone, with the one that I'm actually casting on the screen right now. And I'm going to be doing that via Bluetooth, okay? just for today's example, you can, of course, plug this device into a computer and use it with the Blockstream app on desktop. You can do a lot of different things, but today's example, I'm going to use the scrolling to select Bluetooth and enter. Now it says, select Jade on the companion app to pair it. So that means the Blockstream app. So let's get out of this. And we're going to utilize the Blockstream app, which I downloaded from the App Store. So you want to open it up and just get to the main screen. And we're just going to go through kind of the initial setup here. I'm going to choose Get Started. And I'm going to, let's see. And they've updated the Blockstream app. So I'm going to ask a question from my friend at Blockstream once he's done answering a question back there. Just give him a tap. Can you tap him? A quick question. The most expedient way, where it says My Wallet, it says Hardware Wallet underneath it. That's just what threw me. Should I choose that, or should I set up a new wallet down at the bottom?
It's press set up a new wallet. What
Okay.
you're seeing right now at the top is an old wallet you set up in the past.
Okay, I see. Yeah, so I've messed around with this wallet before. My bad. Okay, so I'm going to set up a new wallet. Okay, so it says I can get started, or I can connect a Jade. So pretty obvious, I want to connect a Jade. Okay, connect Jade, I'm going to hit that button. It asks me to give Bluetooth permission, so I'm going to tap on that button, and I'm going to hit allow. And what does it say? On my device, it says EEED58. That is my device, the one up top. You will have to confirm. I'm seeing multiple Jades right now because there's a few nearby, but I'm going to select mine specifically, and I'm going to allow it to connect.
Oh, here, wait.
By the way, on the device, it will ask you to confirm the authentication. I'm going to confirm it and pair. And it says that I'm connected. There's a little button that says genuine check to make sure that your device is indeed from Blockstream and hasn't been tampered with. I'm going to tap that button, and it will just kind of double check the device is indeed authentic. Oh, and it's asking me to confirm on my device. And I'll just say yes. Okay. It says everything looks good. My Jade is genuine, and I can hit continue. And then it asks me if I want to create a pin on my device. And so I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. Now, on my device, now I don't want to exit out of the Blockstream app just because I don't want to interrupt the process here. But on my device, it shows 6 blocks in which I can enter numbers, and you would be using the scrolling wheel to select a 6-digit PIN. And so I'm going to do a very simple PIN for right now, but you would select a PIN for your device. You would scroll up and down to find the right number, and then you would hit the front button to select the number. If you mess up and you do the wrong number, if you keep scrolling through the numbers, there'll be a little back arrow with an X that would take you back to the previous number. So select a 6-digit PIN by going one number at a time. and then it will ask you to confirm the same PIN again. Some of you will see once you've gone through that process, it'll say, hey, do you want the new firmware? Is there an update? I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit continue. It's good to update, so I'll just say yes. For my guys and ladies in the audience, how's everything seem to be going so far? We doing okay? Yeah? Okay. My update's just taking a minute or two here. Maybe I should have postponed updating. How many people here have used a Jade before, by the way? I'm just curious. Okay, nice. Does anybody here have the newer Jade, the Jade Plus? Nice. All right, we're just about there. Anybody have any good jokes? All right. And just so you know, you won't have to do this firmware upgrade every single time that you go to use the Jade. I just opted to do it. All right, update successful. It's just rebooting my device. Okay. And just so you can see, I click on my device. And right now it's just asking for my PIN that I already set up. Okay. Okay. So, barring the little update for a moment there, it is now logging me into my device. Even though you can't see the screen of my phone, it's giving me a little bit of privacy here for a second. There we go. Okay. So here I am. I am connected to my newly booted up Jade, and I can see my wallet in Blockstream, the Blockstream app, which is connected to this. So I need the Jade to be able to spend, but I can look at my balance right now, and I can transact. It does have baked in buying, all of that kind of stuff right in front of me. So before I move on, I want to ask my friend from Blockstream here, how are we doing? Is everything okay? Is there anything you'd like me to outline here while I'm freshly connected?
We're doing pretty good. Right, team? We're doing good.
All right.
This is the new Blockstream app. It used to be called Blockstream Green. So if you look on the box or on the inserts, it will say Blockstream Green. It's the same app. People just asked us too many times why it's called Green, and we didn't have an answer for it, so we just cut the green. This is the new UI.
Perfect.
That's
Awesome. I just want to see, like, in terms of like a pulse check, how many people are now looking at the app with the wallet on it and a 0 Bitcoin balance? All right, take that hand, put it over your shoulder, and tap yourself on the back. Nice job. Like, it is a few steps, and Ben really breaks them down super well. But the important thing to remember is that you take your time. Obviously, we're measured on time here. And if you're not sure, you can pump the brakes and find out from a video or a tutorial. But I like the Jade because it is a very simple setup. The wizard is super intuitive. There's a small screen, so it doesn't bamboozle you with too many choices. You just kind of plug your way through and get to this stage.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah. So quick overview, what are we looking at in the app? We have a total Bitcoin balance up top, which you can hide if you click on the little eyeball. We have any assets that we have, of course. We can have Bitcoin in there. We can also have liquid Bitcoin. So, you know, if you're using Bull Bitcoin, for instance, and you're purchasing, yeah, you get liquid Bitcoin into that wallet. You can also secure that with hardware if you're using a Jade. On top of that, Jade also can have, you can have stable coins that are on liquid Bitcoin. Like there's, point being, that's why it has assets. You might have on-chain Bitcoin, liquid Bitcoin. Either way, they will show up. Down below, price chart, way to purchase. And then at the bottom, we have a few different menus. We have our home screen that we're on right now. We have our transacting screen, sending and receiving. We have our security screen and our settings screen. And I'm just going to dive into the transaction screen because we want to be able to receive and send. That's the key of what we're doing here. So I'm going to hit transact. And again, it gives you the buy option, but also send and receive. I want to receive some Bitcoin to the Jade. And so when I do that, when I hit receive, nice and simple, it gives me a Bitcoin QR code, at which point I can verify on the device if I want to. There's even a little button because you have an app on your phone, but your device is meant to be your beacon of truth. So if you want to verify that this address actually is governed by this device, you can click verify, and it should show up on your device, all broken down into little pieces. And if it looks good, you can just choose the check mark to verify it. It will give you a new address after that, but you can do that every single time if you want. Nonetheless, I'm going to steal more of Pablo's Bitcoin.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. So the thing that happened on the side, by the way, don't worry, this is not exploitation. You don't have to worry about me. Ben sent me back that Bitcoin from the cold card, right, on the Bull wallet. So we're able to send large amounts of money, small amounts of money between each other with these very low KYC profiles, right? The Bull wallet didn't ask for my name or my date of birth or my inner leg measurement, and neither did the Jade wallet here either. So we're interacting on what we call the peer-to-peer network. Bitcoin doesn't know it's Ben, and Bitcoin doesn't know it's Pablo, but we're able to send between each other. So let's make a transaction.
All right. So I've got a Bitcoin address in front of me. Just side note, up top where it says asset, it says Bitcoin right now. If I did want to receive liquid, I could hit the little edit button and it gives me some options there, which include liquid Bitcoin, okay? So nonetheless, I do not need those. I'll just swipe away.
All right, so I'm just going to scan this QR code here and it'll pick it up. And then it's asking me for how much. I'm going to send you how much on chain. I'm going to send 12,444 sats. It's about $20, right?
Okay.
So it's going to cost me the fees. Obviously, this is on chain, so I do have to send that. Let me have a look.
And again, for an individual that's doing this, you would likely be coming from an exchange and then sending in to this wallet so that it was in cold storage. So you're taking it into your self-custody. Or perhaps if you had a hot wallet where a balance built up, you move it in to your Jade to keep it secure.
If you want to receive Liquid, I could send you Liquid.
Oh, let's do a Liquid payment as well. Yeah, so we'll do the classic.
We'll do both.
We'll do the classic on-chain, and if Drew, you can send Liquid, and we could actually like maybe even see how one will be quicker than the other.
That I can send to.
Okay.
Ben's just shaking us out for all our money today.
Yeah.
I know it's a shakedown, basically.
That's right. I do have Liquid that I could send, but you get up here and give me no. I do have some. I'll send.
Okay, so I've just successfully sent 21,000 sats to Ben on-chain using the Bull Bitcoin wallet, and then eventually when it's broadcast, has it popped up?
So the reason I know it popped up is because the address changed. And by default, what happens in the wallet is once you've received funds to an address, it will automatically swap out a new one. This is a privacy preserving feature that most good Bitcoin wallets will have, where they don't want you getting multiple transactions to the same address, because if somebody knows that address and you do all of your transactions to the same one, it's just not good for privacy. So I did receive Bitcoin. I'm going to go back. I'm just going to hit this back arrow.
Yeah, let's see.
And I can see I've got 21,000 sats, or 0.00021 Bitcoin.
Also, this happens quite a lot when I set people up with wallets. They'll maybe buy, I don't know, $500 at Bull Bitcoin, and then we'll practice putting it on cold storage. And then they'll see an amount come through, and not all wallets show the currency, so they panic.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, like, where did all my money go? Or like, I've got so much. Is it possible to change the currency here? Because we're looking at a USD value, if you can see that.
Let's do it. Okay, so yeah, let's go and change that. Not only, if I go into settings, we have a few options here. Let me just denomination and exchange rate.
I think it's right at the top.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Right here. And so denomination, I like sats. I will fight Adam back to the death on this. Stop trying to make bits happen. They're not going to happen. But I'm going to go for sats. I like the one person was like, yeah. Okay. And then let's do, instead of that, let's do Canadian dollars.
From who?
From
Bull Bitcoin. Let's get it.
There we go.
Only the best.
Okay.
Yeah. So we actually cooperate on that. In fact, Blockstream and Bull Bitcoin have been working a lot on Liquid in general and some of the bolt swaps and stuff. And so the Jade pulls from Bull's balance, and it's all kind of one family, really. We all contribute together.
So let's go back to the main screen and see what it looks like now. Did I need to save that?
There you go. So 24 went to 34. It kind of number went up on the fiat side, right? And we just moved into Canadian.
Oh, yeah. So it shows 21,000 sats up here.
And also the Bitcoin rate as well as on the price. There we go.
Adam just really wants me to see in either full BTC. He doesn't want my sats up top, apparently. But I can see it in the assets column here, 21,000 sats. I'm going to also go to the transactor screen. I'm going to hit receive, and I'm going to select Liquid, and I'm going to send. I've got a Liquid wallet right here that I'm just going to send from. Send.
So this is another example of how companies are working to offer you all-in-one solutions, because Bitcoin being the immutable blockchain is the base layer of consensus, but it's not the quickest. As you'll see, my payment that I made on-chain is going to take longer to confirm than this
Mine just showed
Liquid
up.
transaction. So Ben has the Liquid on his wallet, whereas we've got one confirmation on the on-chain, and it usually takes about 6 before we call it fully confirmed. So a Bitcoin transaction can take up to about 1 hour to be fully confirmed, whereas Liquid is going to pop through within a minute.
Yeah.
There we go. So we got 1 of 2 confirmations straight away. So already we're at a level pegging in terms of confirmations, and very quickly the Liquid will be on the wallet. The reason why I tell you this is because we can layer Bitcoin to bring the solutions. Blockstream does it really well. The Bull wallet does it super well. These are the ways that we overcome some of the problems with cold storage and with different wallets. So Yeah, we've got 2 balances now.
Yeah, 2 balances. So the receiving part is the part where you probably, if you've used a regular Bitcoin wallet, you're already familiar with. The part that is different is when you go to send and you're dealing with hardware. What does that look like in practice? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send that liquid back out to a different wallet. And so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click on, I'll click on my liquid Bitcoin balance here. Oh, no, sorry, I'm going to go to my transact, and then I'm going to choose to send. And I'm just going to scan and see what it does with that. Scan. And it can tell that this is liquid Bitcoin, okay? And do I want to send all? There we go, send all. I'll hit next. Hey, this is your address, does that look right? I just kind of give it, eyeball it, looks good to me. It says slide to send. And now on my device, now I don't know if I navigate out of this to my camera, if it's going to ruin the transaction, but I'm going to chance it. On my device, it says, hey, this is what you're doing. You're sending this much liquid Bitcoin. I'm going to hit the front button. And your fee is this much. Do you want to confirm it? I'll say yes.
Before you go, can you actually go back? I want to tell people some things. Go on the Jade itself.
Oh, on the Jade, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't mean to. Oh.
That's okay. Don't worry. I'll just do it again. Slide to send.
I'm throwing Ben off his mojo, and that's very rude of me.
Here we go.
At the top, you see the 2. So this is his receive address that he's sending to. You can verify a Bitcoin or a Liquid transaction where you're actually sending that Bitcoin or Liquid to on the actual hardware wallet itself, whether that's Jade or Cold Card or any of the other things. So you can verify on the device and not on the actual phone or your computer.
Yeah.
There are shady people out there. Let's just say that.
Yeah, yeah. Sometimes you don't know if a phone has been compromised or something like that. So it's much better to check on the device rather than in the app. So anyways, okay. So I'm okay with all this. I'm going to hit the check mark. Let's navigate back to the app. And again, because I navigated away from it, it doesn't like that. So I'll just do it. And you saw what I did on the device itself. So I'm just doing that again. It doesn't like when you close it. But I just approved it. I said yes on the device. And so there's my outgoing transaction from the Blockstream app. Approved by the Jade. Woo! We'll just skip the part where I give Pablo back his money.
Yeah, oh, yeah, we're going to the bar later on. We'll work it out, I'm sure. So that was pretty much it. Like blow by blow, we managed to open up the Jade, set it up, secure the seed phrase, receive funds into it, on-chain and Liquid, and then send funds out on Liquid and hopefully on-chain later.
One of these days.
So it is a flow that you'll use, but I do recommend, this is why this is a good workshop. We can try out these things, and if you are starting your journey into cold storage, one of my biggest recommendations is to approach it with a test mentality first before you put your main Bitcoin onto cold storage. Do this type of setup. And then you can go even further, and you can, in fact, delete the app like we did with the Bull wallet as well. And you can test your seed phrase as well, because it's like a fire escape. You don't want to test it for the first time when you really need it. You want to test it out of practice. So these are the ways that we can start to own our money. And yes, it is a little bit of hurdles to overcome. But with companies like Blockstream innovating these solutions, we find that it's getting easier and easier and easier. Is there anything you want to say, Drew, just before we kind of wrap up on the demo section? Is there anything that we can look at for Blockstream or any closers?
No. I very much appreciate both of you doing this. I appreciate Learning Bitcoin for setting this up. I'll be at the Blockstream booth tomorrow. I understand that some of us, many of us, had a lot of troubles with the setup. We'll take an extra 2 minutes. We'll go slow, one-on-one, hand-holding. We'll do the whole 9 yards. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks very much to Drew. Let's give him a round of applause.